is 100% some kind of creature living in my shed. It's either a mouse or a rat. I'm talking quietly so as not to disturb it. It's definitely in here. I really hope it's a mouse, and I hope it was a mouse that ran out my shed that time. I'm starting to worry that it might be a rat. Why my shed? Good morning everyone, welcome back to my Allotment Diaries. My name is Emma, these are my Allotment Diaries, they're happening right now. I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. I put up loads of videos on allotments and my garden and gardening jobs in general. I'm going to start doing some cooking videos as well. I'm going to put my first one up this week, fingers crossed if all goes to plan, and I don't burn it or something. If I can actually cook it right is what I'm trying to say. And then that will go up today this week. So I think it'd be quite a nice little dimension to my vlogs to kind of add in like what I actually use the produce for and how I actually cook it. But I'm here today, it's such a beautiful day and everything's looking really good, and my pumpkins are exploding, and I really want to start by sharing with you a pumpkin update, because we've gone through it with the pumpkins this year, but I think we've come out the other end and I think we're going to get some good plants, so fingers crossed. So this is the pumpkin that I'm thinking at the moment is like king of the flipping pumpkins, because look at the size of him. He is amazing. He's doing so good. He's got so many leaves. I think we're completely safe now. If he had a slug attack, I think we would be okay. Very soon I'll be starting to tie him in to the archway and encouraging him to grow up. But yeah, he's just done so good. I'm so proud of him. And then that one over there, he's done okay. Get a bit closer. Yeah, again, look really good because no slug damage or anything, and he's just done amazing. He's got his little nasturtium friend next to him. The akiki-kuri in the middle is just remaining static and not doing anything, and I think this is a goner. I know it's still alive, I know it's still green, and I always say a green plant is a living plant, but just not happy with him. This one I think might have more of a chance, even though he has been nibbled at. Well, that's annoying, he's actually been eaten, but he might have more of a chance than this one. I'm not really holding my breath for this one. And then over on the other side of the archway, things are not looking quite as good as the other side. They're all alive and they've not been eaten or anything, but they just don't look as healthy. And it's really interesting because I treated the two beds exactly the same way. And last year this side did better than that side, and this year that side seems to be doing better than this side. But they're going a bit yellow and I'm not entirely sure what's going on with them. So still alive, which is obviously excellent, and getting bigger. Albeit a bit slower than the other ones, but you can see they've got a yellowy tinge to them. Particularly this one here seems to be getting a bit of a yellowy tinge to his leaves, and he's just not looking quite healthy. And then this one over here, he's very small and his leaves are going very yellow. Honestly, not sure what's going on with him. I think what I'm going to do is give them a feed. But the nasturtiums are definitely happy on this side, which I think's helped. I don't know, but Harry's looking really scary. He looks like that Jeepers Creepers thing. I'm scared he's going to put his head up in a minute. Oh my god. It's like The Exorcist. I don't think we need this anymore. Right, let's talk plant feed for a second, because I am at that stage in my gardening career now where I am thinking about how to enhance crops and how to get them growing better and what is the best feed to give each one. So this is what I've learned about pumpkins. At the beginning, when there are no flowers on your plant, you should be giving it a nitrogen heavy feed. So I've got the seaweed feed, which is specifically formulated to be high in nitrogen, and nitrogen feeds the leaves. It creates leaves to be made, basically. This doesn't make sense, I know. I'm not an expert. But basically it helps the leafiness of plants and causes them, I'm guessing, to kind of create loads and loads of leaves and really healthy leaves, which makes your plant really big and strong, right? When you start to get flowers on your pumpkin plant, you should change to a phosphorus heavy fertilizer, and I found one that you can get a seaweed feed that is high in phosphorus instead of nitrogen, or there's like Miracle Grow or a tomato feed, something like that, because what you want your feed to be doing then is to be feeding the actual fruit that's being produced. And then if you're feeling really like you really want to help your plants along as much as they can, you should go for a potassium heavy fertilizer or feed when the actual pumpkins start to form and when you start to see proper pumpkins growing on your plant, because that will feed and help the actual pumpkins even more. So just to recap, nitrogen fertilizer for leaves, that's for when your plant's getting going, you want to build all the leaves and make it as leafy as possible. Phosphorus for when you see the flowers, because then we want to start switching the energy to go to the flowers and to the creation of the fruit, not the leaves. And then when you see the fruit appearing, potassium feeds the actual pumpkins. I believe this is the same for tomatoes as well, but to be honest, I don't think people start feeding their tomatoes until they actually see the flowers and stuff, and then they just go for that. But yeah, that is the official way of feeding your pumpkins. As my pumpkins are just literally leafy at the moment and I want them to grow and they're going a bit yellowy, I'm just going to stick with the old seaweed feed. I always call it seaweed, it is called seaweed feed, and I think that this will just give it a little bit of a boost and hopefully get those leaves growing. So we're going to do this, and it's really simple. It's got all the instructions on the bottle, so it doesn't have to be complicated, but it's 10 mils per 5 litres, and your watering can should have measurements on the side of it, so just fill it up. So I've got mine filled to 10 litres, and I know that it's 10 mils per 5 litres, so it's going to be 20 mils of this in my watering can. Give it a stir, use it all up on the pumpkin plants, and that's it. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, though I appreciate it does feel it sometimes. Google goes a long way, guys. If you're wondering where I ever get my information from, lots and lots of Googling. Right. Let's give it a stir, just because I feel like I'm doing something productive then. I don't know if you have to or not. Jury's out on that one. Oh, just another quick tip on the old seaweed feed. Stinks, absolutely reeks. Do not get this on your clothes, do not get it on your fingers, do not get it on your hands. You will stink of fish all day. Did a snail just come out of my flipping watering can? Are you joking? Are you joking? What the hell have you been doing in there? I told you, the snails on my allotment plot are not normal. They are like Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible style snails. They just wait in the wings, and they're the most ingenious snails ever. This is why I have to battle on a daily basis. He was hiding in my watering can. I literally put him on the leaf. Can you believe it? I admire you, but at the same time, I don't want you to eat my crops, so I'm really sorry. Just go and eat the weeds. Just eat the weeds, do you know what I mean? What an absolute character. The cheek of it. Right, fingers crossed we can get those pumpkins over there to catch up with those pumpkins over there, but to be honest, they're all alive, they've not been eaten. you know, I think we've got a good chance of getting some kind of pumpkin arch this year. So this is really good, because this is what my whole unique selling point of this entire channel now is the bleeding pumpkin arch. Never put all of your hopes and dreams into one plant, because it will just let you down. Yeah, I think it's going to be all right, you know. I think it is. And this bed over here, which was fairly a new bed, which we were all a little bit worried about, weren't we? Because I basically whacked in a load of lettuce, kohlrabi, is it kohlrabi? Something like that, and oh no, pak choy, and cauliflowers, and I was just convinced it'd all be eaten, but actually it's done really, really well. The bed is absolutely blossoming. I mean, some of it's died because, you know, a few things always die, and whenever I plant anything out, but the fact is most of it's alive, and actually the pattern is looking really good. Can you see it? So we've got the darker ones in the middle, and then it's all starting to kind of fill out now. I think it looked really nice, but yeah, I can't believe it's all still alive. I might need to sort out the netting a little bit actually. How's that going to go over if it doesn't even stretch? Oh, for God's sakes, you're joking. It doesn't stretch, does it? Because you don't want to let those pesky butterflies get anywhere near your brassicas at this time of year. This is the time of year when they're all kind of out and about scouting for a place to lay their eggs, and they lay it on your brassica plants like cauliflowers, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and then the caterpillars hatch in like hundreds of them, and they just completely eat your plant, and it's really annoying basically. But the other thing you can do, if you are worried that your defences have been infiltrated by the enemy, you can just check under the leaves for any eggs. So let's just have a check now, because my defences have been slightly down. So all you have to do is, normally it's underneath the leaves. Oh, what's all that? Oh, that's whitefly. Oh, they're annoying, they are. These are whiteflies. And this is why I plant marigolds next to my tomato plants, because they're really annoying. I think you can just rub them off. Ah, look, I've got some caterpillar eggs. Right, let me show you. I've got it. I've got them. I've left my defences down. See those little unsuspecting teeny tiny little ball things here? These are caterpillar eggs. They will get bigger, they will hatch, and they will eat my entire plant. So we just smush them off. And when you smush them off, see, they can't survive, they die. So you just have to smush them all off with your hand. So when you first find the little caterpillars, if you see any caterpillars, they're really tiny. They're probably not very much bigger than the actual eggs, but they can still do a lot of damage when they're that size. But then if you leave them, they get bigger. They get to like that big, and they are disgusting. So just check for them early, and always look underneath the leaves, because that's where they like to hide their little babies and think that they're going to be safe. Obviously I've cottoned on to that now. And try not to spray anything on them. You'll see online there's loads of things you can spray on your plants to try and deter them or get them to slide off or whatever, but try not to do that. It's so easy just to check under the leaves and then just remove them and then keep it netted. Like it really doesn't take that much work, and the whole point of growing your own vegetables, I think, is to try and keep it as organic as you can. So try to not spray anything on them. Don't fall into that trap. I did that the first year and everything ended up burning and dying and just being horrible. So yeah. The size of these broad beans is insane. Look at that. If you are having trouble knowing what to do with your broad bean glut, so am I. You're not alone. I've come up with some really good recipe ideas for broad beans that I'm going to hopefully, that's why I was thinking about filming like a cooking video, because I often end up with like gluts of certain crops, and I think broad beans this year for a lot of people have just done really, really well. Last year it was courgettes, and it probably will be courgettes again soon, so if you planted out more than one courgette plant, good luck, you're about to be inundated with courgettes. So if you think a cooking video on some ideas of what to do with your broad beans would be a good idea, let me know below. I'm probably going to film it this week. It hopefully will be up this week at some point. I hope you enjoyed the vlog today. Again, if you enjoy following me, there's lots of other ways you can follow me down below in the description bar, including my blog, my newsletter, my Instagram. And otherwise, I will see you on Wednesday. Have a lovely gardening week. Bye!